Now we're going to practice multiplying binomials and then factoring. So when we're multiplying binomials, we do things a little bit differently. So say we have x plus 4 times x minus 6. And the way we did this was we focused on the area model. We found the area of a rectangle that has a length of x plus 4 and a width of x minus 6. And so we said x times x, we find the area of this by multiplying. X times x is x squared. X times minus 6 is minus 6x. And for this box, x times 4 is 4x. And for the bottom box, we're doing the positive 4 times the negative 6, which is negative 24. Once we have our box filled out, we're going to combine the like terms of what's inside, and we get x squared. Then we add the negative 6x and the 4x to get minus 2x. And then we have minus 24. So now we've multiplied those two binomials together. We see we ended up with an x squared and an x and a constant term. That happens for us a lot, but not always. So then let's try one more of those. Say we have 2x minus 1 times 3x plus 4. We're going to do the same process. We're going to make our box, and we're going to find the area of a box that has a width of 2x minus 1 and a length of 3x plus 4. It doesn't matter where you put the 2x minus 1 and where you put the 3x plus 4, on the top or on the side, it's fine. So then we're going to multiply. Here we have 2x times 3x, which is 6x squared. 2x times 4 is 8x. In this box, we do 3x times negative 1, so minus 3x. And for this bottom box, minus 4, by multiplying the 4 and the negative 1. Then we take what's inside and we combine like terms. So we have 6x squared, then we have plus 5x, and minus 4. What we're doing on these two is we are multiplying the binomials. Factoring is when we take this part and we want to get what we started with. What are the two binomials that multiplied to give us this? So the way we do that is we start with our binomial. We have x squared plus 4x plus 3. And so we're going to go ahead and draw our box, but this time we have the area of the box instead of the length and the width. And so what we're looking for is the length and the width. Now we know from working those other problems that the x squared always went here, and we know that the constant term was down here. This middle one was what we got when we added these two together. So we're not quite sure exactly how that works just yet. Now, to multiply and get x squared, we know the only way to do that is to multiply x times x. So we're good there. Then we know that these two numbers are going to multiply to give us positive 3. So that could either be positive 1 and positive 3, or negative 1 and negative 3. So I'm going to start with positive 1 and positive 3. And that gives me a positive 3x here, and then 1 times x would give me a 1x here. Those two do add to give me 4x, which is what I was looking for. Great. If it didn't work, I would try one of my other options. So now I have x plus 1 and x plus 3. So the factors of x squared plus 4x plus 3 are x plus 1 and x plus 3. You see we ended up with what our original problems looked like. So this is what factoring is when we're going from the trinomial back to what multiplied to give us that. Let's try another one. Say we have x squared plus 10x minus 24. So we'll go ahead and start with our box. We know that this is our area, our x squared in the top left, and our constant, the one without the variable, in the bottom right. Now to multiply and get x squared, it's still x times x. This won't always just be an x squared. You saw some examples that we did before where it was something like 6x squared, so we'll have to be a little more careful when we get to those. Now we know that these two numbers need to multiply to give us negative 24. So some options for that are negative 1 and 24, negative 2 and 12, negative 3 and 8, negative 4 and 6. We don't always have to make this list, but especially when I'm showing you how to do it, I want to be sure that I write down all the options. Also, anytime you're unsure and you're having a little trouble figuring it out, it's a good idea to list all of those factors so that you know you've tried everything. So I know that I need these two to add up to give me positive 10. So if I look at my list, I can look to see what these factors add up to. It looks like this might be my best option, so that's the one I'm going to try. I'm going to put my minus 2 here and my plus 12 here and see what happens. I have minus 2 times x is a minus 2x. Positive 12 plus x is positive 12x. Those do add to give me my positive 10 that I was looking for in the middle. So that's great. I've got my two binomials. On the top I had, x minus 2, and on the side I had x plus 12. In the next video we'll talk about some more complicated versions and ones that have more options than things that we need to try.